This story comes to us from KMOV.com. KMOV out of Northwoods, Missouri. Or is it Missouri? News 4 has learned a North County police officer accused of kidnapping and beating a man was able to jump from one department to another in less than 2 years. Another officer was arrested in connection to the same police brutality case. Now, John Bowman, who's president of the St. Louis County NAACP chapter, said, "It frightens me to think that someone who can be that abusive is carrying a gun and a badge." Oh, yeah. Yeah, all over the U.S. Former Northwoods police officer, 26-year-old Samuel Davis, allegedly left a man bloodied and bruised in an abandoned field in Kinloch on July 4th. Northwoods police fired him before he was charged with kidnapping, armed criminal action, and assault. Now, investigators say Davis turned off his body camera. Big surprise there. That's why we record the police. My camera don't get shut off. Investigators say Davis turned off his body camera, did not tell dispatchers he had somebody in custody, pepper sprayed the victim, and hit him with a baton. The now fired officer came to Northwoods Police after leaving North County Cooperative in 2021. The caliber of officers who jump from department to department is why Bowman says smaller police municipalities need to go. Well, big city police departments aren't much better. Bowman from the NAACP chapter said they take what they can get, opposed to what they really need, and they are going to have to reevaluate that. This has shined a lot on several things. The fact that small municipalities are totally dependent on reject officers. Yeah, if you're a big city, you get terminated, you go to a smaller department where maybe they only have 6 officers, but they need 11, and they hire you. Oh, you're certified in the state as a cop? Yeah, works for me. Because they need the manpower. They don't care what your background is. State Senator Brian Williams spearheaded a bill into law that requires a police chief to alert the next department as to why an officer is leaving. Like that's going to help. Like that, come on. There was a story of a cop that hit a guy with his police car, just ran him over. And the neighboring county, they hired the cop because, well, he's really a good cop. He just made a bad choice. How many bad choices does he have to make? The legislation makes it harder for sketchy officers to do what's called the muni shuffle, which is bouncing from one department to the next. We call those nomad officers. They just kind of float through the desert. Yeah. Williams said, "This is a black eye for good officers. Smaller departments like Northwoods would be able to not only get information quickly, but to find out whether or not the police officer should have been hired. Also determine if that person should be out of policing altogether." Again, they don't care about that. They don't care about that. News 4 has learned that Samuel Davis was arrested while applying for a new police officer job in North Carolina. On Tuesday, the Department of Public Safety looked into the process of removing Davis's peace officer license. Williams said, "Ensure that not only is this officer held accountable for his actions, but it sets precedent for the future to let folks know if you're a member of our community and law enforcement breaks the law, they need to be held accountable." Duh! Thank you, Captain Obvious. Now, Davis has yet to be extradited back to St. Louis County. Charges for the second officer are expected to happen, so we'll see. The FBI is also involved in the investigation. The FBI is involved, something going on. But again, it's this, what am I trying to say? This philosophy that, well, he just had a bad experience at that police department. We'll hire them, and then maybe they have a good experience. We'll retrain them in the way we do things, and the cop never get better. Once a bad cop, always a bad cop. It's like a spoiled apple. It's like a rotten apple. You could keep cutting through that thing. All you're going to find is brown. You're not going to find any nice white meat that you could eat in that. If that apple is spoiled, it's done. You can cut that sucker into different pieces. It's done. You can move that cop to any department you want. He done. A bad cop.